Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. My name is Olakunle Kasumu, and what a year 2022 has been. For me and for every member of the crew here, we are very grateful to you for always sticking there, just watching and giving us all the feedback, telling us what you like, what you don't like, and just making us better and better every week. And for all the authors, all the writers, all the publishers that we've had the privilege of interviewing over the last 12 months, it's been an honor talking to so many brilliant novelists and writers and historians and so on. And for all the events we've covered, whoa, home and abroad, what a year 2022 has been, covering all those fabulous events. Now, what we're doing for you today is to take you back down memory lane 2022. Let's remind you a bit of all the experiences we've had, some of the experiences we've had this year, 2022. Enjoy this.
When we deal with this issue of blame, do you blame ourselves who are not the architects, or do we blame the architect? If it sounds like, or blame the British, it sounds negative. But if the architect has designed your building and it's fallen apart, there's subsidence, the roof is gone lopsided, do you blame yourself? Or do you look to the architect and say, oh my guy, what did you do here? So I think Nigerians got to get comfortable. I'm trying to encourage them to get comfortable. It's all right to put the blame where it belongs.
My friends call me the special one. No, by far, I'm not the special one. There are people doing far greater things than myself. And I don't consider 25 books any feat of success. I'm sorry, sir, I don't. Somebody did ask me a question last week and wanted to know which is my best book so far. And my response was clear. I don't have any best written book. My best book is the unwritten book. I don't see myself special, but I consider myself the fortunate one.
One of the things you mentioned here is the importance of understanding the history of ancient Egypt.
Yes.
That this is key.
Yes.
To understanding everything you're trying to say
and
here.
the fact is that ancient Egypt is the which is still the geographical location of the present Egypt, is the ancestral homeland of black Africans. That was where all the entire black Africans were living before, until the Middle Ages, when the Arab invaders came and conquered Egypt and scattered the indigenous people. And the original black Africans now begin to disperse to other parts of Africa until the Arabs took over that geographical habitation. So that the Egypt you have today, they are not the original indigenous owners of that land. They are not the people who built the pyramids. They are not the people who built the civilization of Egypt. It was black Africans. And if you look at the status of the pharaohs and the status of ancient Egyptian priests and their scientists and so on, you really know that they were all black people. All those mighty achievements, even the civilization of today has not attained the level the ancient black people in Egypt and Babylon did.
From its name, essentials. You know what it means? It means that, very important, those things that you jettison and you think it is business as usual, God is there, nothing will happen. No. Everything that has to do with home safety is there. Number one, the issue of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly known as cooking gas,
Cooking gas.
has been are major disaster books. It is a hazard on its own if not properly handled. And a lot of people do not know how to handle it. For instance, where do you place your cooking gas to? It is not supposed to be in the kitchen. It is supposed to be outside the kitchen, where you pass the gas from outside to the burner inside.
I started writing this book, Thesis, Antithesis, and Synthesis of Life, which is my memoir. And that's about 4 years back. My son bought me 4 exercise books, big ones. I was then in the years. I had finished my service years. And then you can see what my handwriting was like in writing then. I kept on writing and writing, and I took inspiration from the same spot every day where I sat overlooking their garden, their beautiful garden.
The first time you were on Channel's book club was you were 9?
Yes, 9.
And you had written a book at the age of 5, which you published when you were 9.
Yes, 8.
What?
8, which I published when I was 8.
When you were 8?
Yes.
But you were on the show at 9,
Yes.
when you were 9?
Yes.
Then you came back on the show when you were 12. And then you are here now, you are 17. We both looked different the last time.
Yes.
And I didn't have all this, and you were still a bit smaller.
Dear Heavenly Father is a compilation of 30 prayers, affirmations, and scriptures, written very, very simply, in language that children of all ages can understand and can remember. You know, it will give them the consciousness of God. It will introduce God to them as their Father, you know, and that's very important to me. Because I feel like, especially, you know, in culture like ours, where we see fathers as the ones we should run away from rather than run towards. You know, those days where it's like, oh, daddy's coming and everybody's scrambling under the bed and you know. Well, I didn't have a father like that. My dad was a good guy. He was the nice guy. My mom was a terrorist. You know, but that was...
She's not listening to you.
She's in heaven, so she hears everything that I say.
Okay.
But I, from talking with so many people, I realized that that was the story. A lot of them had fathers that they couldn't relate to, fathers that they couldn't talk to. They were there to just pay the rent, pay the bills, pay their school fees. They were there to be served and to be feared and obeyed, you know. So, but that's not who God is.
Everything I own, I carry through words. They breathe on the flesh of my tongue like a prophecy, ever fulfilling, never misses like a nun. They say I am larger than life, for I am constantly choosing things the world can't take from me. Things that outlive breath, things that stretches between worlds, things engraved in eternity, things that touches but I can't seem to hold. Only feel like self-love, groundbreaking things sprouting from invisible roots, like warmth, things that manifest through peace, like sleep, like a gorgeous smile glowing through the eyes. Everything I owned from nothing, and nothing are these words growing into poems, into pages, into life. A reminder that the world can't touch my invincibility.
are you happy with what you've seen in the last 10, 20 years in terms of how far we have come as a country, in terms of promotion of literacy and literature generally?
Well, yes and no. Yes, when I see people like you and Channels Television, actively promoting reading, when we see people, as pockets of insignificant work, but which are just so precious to this country, people doing things in their different corners. I follow the Channels Book Club. I always try to watch, and you do a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, highlighting such stories. So it's encouraging.
After many years living in the United States, starting a family, having great ambition, having such amazing talent, everybody's like, you're so hardworking, you're so talented. And they tell you all of these amazing things about yourself, but you're looking at the results you're producing. And you're like, I don't get it. It's not adding up. Why is that not adding up? And it occurred to me that I was really just chasing my own shadows. And I had to come to a place of understanding what it is that I need to focus on. I lacked focus. And that realization came at my lowest point. So that was when I started this journey, and I began to understand that the one thing that I had taken for granted the whole time since I was like less than 2 years old. My mom says, you talk so much, you talk too much. She's always talking. She started talking earlier, everyone in the family, and it was always like, stop talking. And that was the one thing that I knew that I could do so well. And I was really, really good at. And that was the turning point for me.
Page 30, you said with a fatality risk of 0.13 for air travel, on average, a person would have to travel by air every day for 461 years.
Yes, for the possibility of
before experiencing accident.
For the possibility of your dying.
With at least one fatality.
Yes.
On average, a person will have to travel every day for 20,932 years to experience a 100% fatal accident.
Yes, so it's that simple. So
is this true?
That is why when you go on board of a flight, no matter the poor environment of that operation, Africa one time was blacklisted as flying coffins, dangerous zone. Aviation has so evolved that safety is taken for granted. Those machines, 2 engines, 2 captains, 2 this, 2 that. So if one fails, it's like your eye. You lose one is carrying you. Your nose, 2. Your hand, 2. Your ear, 2. So you see, when they now measure aviation accidents, it's now measured in million per million departures.
The average southerner thinks that everybody from the north is Hausa.
No, please, no. I am not a Hausa man.
Have you observed that?
I've observed it.
It's a very big problem.
Yes, and it's not a problem for those who know. As I speak to you, I am not a Hausa man. I will not be a Hausa man. Even if I die today and come back tomorrow, I can't be a Hausa man. I cannot. I am not, and I will not be. If I am not a Zulu man, then for Christ's sake, what am I? I can't be Yoruba. I can't be an Igbo man.
That's your identity.
That's my identity. I'm a Zulu man. So why should I not be proud to tell you I'm a Zulu man? I can't be a Hausa man. I can't.
I can't see
no.
Wow. Unfortunately, we don't have time. Thank you for joining us on Channels Book Club.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, my pleasure.
Let me take some water.
Yeah, please do.
As we round up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Yes, the Zuru way. The Zuru way.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. All right. Let me also share with you.
Copyright is important as it helps to protect the value of an author, academic, researcher's work.
Memoirs of Yemi Ogunbiyi for the benefit of everyone who reads.
Our passion and commitment to reading, our love for books, brought us together.
And that has kept us together.
As custom demands, the older girls had been sent to go and fetch water at the nearby stream. Go directly to the stream and return home immediately.
The amount of books here is just mind-boggling. The options here. Where do you want to start from? Young people, kids, teenagers. The options are so many. It's fascinating. If you love books, this place will blow your mind away. And if you don't love books, be careful not to come here because you start loving books. Really.
Particularly like the African authors and books theme that he has. So being here, I've been able to buy a few books for my children that shows them characters that are, a little more familiar to them, a little closer to home.
I met some other people from other schools and it's really fascinating to stay here.
It's an amazing event in which we meet different authors. For example, if we meet a book we've read and we meet our favorite author, it's an opportunity to meet favorite authors, an opportunity to meet different genres of books, and an opportunity to learn from other authors.
Well, signs of great things to come in 2023, hopefully. Now, before we draw curtains on today's episode, we attended a book launch recently. There's a new book in town, and you've got to lay your hands on it and read it. Enjoy this report.
A former U.S. Attorney General, Robert F. Kennedy, once said, "The purpose of life is to contribute in some way to making things better." On this note, Titilola Vivour-Adeniyi, a lawyer and public administrator, launched her first memoir entitled Living for a Higher Purpose. As a pioneer executive secretary of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, Vivour-Adeniyi shared her experience in the 15-chapter book. The publisher of the book, Bemi, in her remarks explained the author's commitment to bringing the book to reality.
When she approached us, down to the cover and the look and feel of the book, she knew. And she was a joy to work with because every time we gave her a query or an assignment, she would respond immediately. So she was a delight to work with.
The Deputy Chancellor, Development Services, University of Lagos, Professor Ayodele Senua, who was a book reviewer, gave a breakdown of the book.
The real meat of the book will be found in chapters 1 to 9. What better title to give chapter 1 of the book that chronicles a campaign, indeed a struggle, than In the Beginning. Written like all other chapters, flowing in simple first-person narrative style, the author tells us of the trajectory from enthusiasm to near despair, born out of little or no impact, to encouragement from the then Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Adeola Ikpaye. So it's not only a story of experiences in terms of historical documentation, it's a manual, it's a how to do advocacy, it's a tool book.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, who was a book launcher represented by the head of service, Hakeem Murakola, described how the author's determination to end sexual and gender-based violence in the state birthed the book.
It documents our experience in birthing an idea, transforming it into reality by determination, empathy for survivors, and most importantly, political willpower and support from key government stakeholders and like-minded colleagues who believed and continue to believe in a good cause of the years.
And to the main reason for the gathering, the official unveiling of Living for a Higher Purpose.
Congratulations once again.
In a chat with China's book club, the author gave a snippet of what readers should expect from the book.
This took me 2 to 3 years just to put everything together. I actually stopped writing September 2021 when the response team became an agency. So everything we've done this year was not even captured in the book. My personal experiences of people that I'm privileged to work with, survivors were able to share their stories, just basically spotlighting individuals who daily go beyond the call of duty to ensure that survivors of sexual and gender-based violence are able to access support.
Okay, so
Living for a Higher Purpose is a story of empathy, tenacity, survival, and renewed hope in the public sector of the country.
This is where we have to end the show today. As always, we'll be delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. And we hope that you really enjoy your holiday. It's the end of the year season, the most fun part of the year, many will say. I will say, I always enjoy this part of every year. So have fun with your friends and your families and your colleagues and your neighbors, and just generally relax and feel good. Feel good. There's an exciting year ahead, hopefully for all of us, 2023. My name is Olakunle Kasumu. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.